Hi, everybody. This is Ryan again from safeeasytech.com. And today we're going to talk about what you need to know about Twitter. A lot of you may have heard of tweeting or a tweet and wondered what that is. Kind of a funny word there, but it involves Twitter. Their icon is a bird. So, of course, tweeting is letting people know what your thoughts are. Now, you can actually use Twitter in a variety of different ways. You can access it on your computer, whether that be PC or Mac. You can access it on your phone. You can access it on a tablet. For mobile devices like phones and tablets, you're going to download the app that you can get off of your App Store or Google Play Store, depending on how you're accessing it, or the Windows Store, of course. For computers, it's real simple. You just pull up an internet browser. You go to www.twitter.com. And that's going to get you everything that you need to get up and running on their website, which as of today looks like this. And there's some recent tweets there on the page. So Twitter, their business model, how they make money, so that you know, is two different ways, or two major ways. The first is they sell ads. So as you're browsing through your Twitter feed, and I'll show you what I mean here in a minute when I get into my Twitter feed, you're going to come across different ads that are not going to be from people you follow. And we're going to explain the follower system here in just a minute too. So that's one way. They sell advertising space to companies that pay to have their stuff pop up on your screen. And they make money, of course, off of that. The second way that they make money, not nearly as much as they do off of ads, but another way they make money is by selling what they call the fire hose, which is actually all the data that they've collected on their site. So every time you tweet about something, you're making a statement about what you think, what you feel, etc. And Twitter, of course, saves all that information because it's their website, and they retain the right to use that information for whatever they want. And one of the ways that they do that is they turn around and they sell that to companies. So companies can use that information to see what you like, how are different products and brands being received and represented. And that's going to be regardless of whether your tweets are public or private. Now, most of that information is stuff that can be found anyway without people having to pay for it, because your tweets are by default public, meaning that anyone can search for them, anyone can find them. So anybody that wants to can go through and do searches for Coca-Cola, and they can see what everyone's been saying about Coca-Cola. But the advantage of the fire hose, and by Twitter selling that to companies, is that they get all of that data in a really nice package. It's very easy to read, and there's a lot of companies that are using that really successfully to determine how well they're doing. It's a great way of getting unsolicited feedback for anyone that wants to pay for it. So that's the second way that they make money. Now, as far as safety and security goes, so again, be mindful that they do sell their data. So stuff you put out there may end up being looked at by someone else, even if it is a private thing that's only going out to your followers. And the other thing to note is that all tweets are public by default. So let's go ahead and jump in here, and then we'll talk about more of the specifics. So to sign up for the service, you click sign up on the homepage. You're going to enter in your information. And one of the things right off the bat, speaking of safety and security, one of the things that you can do is you can actually tailor Twitter based off of your recent website visits. So what that means is that they're going to actually take a look at your history in the browser that you're using, and they're going to say, okay, they've been to this website, they've been to this website. That must mean that they want to access these types of things. And so that's how they do that. They pull that, and then they give you recommendations based off of that. So let's log into an account, and let's see what that looks like. So this is the Safe Easy Tech account. This is what you see when you get in here. So right off the bat here, you can see a few things that I didn't ask for. And this is what I mean by the targeted ads. So this is a promoted post, and you can always tell. So things that follow up in your feed, you're going to see here. They're going to be things that you specifically followed. So I have clicked on Google Chrome, for example, and you can see that I'm following them here. I can unfollow them if I don't want to follow them. So when you see someone like this, you can click on them. So here's Google Cast, for example. I haven't followed them. So if I want to follow them, I click follow, and now I'm following them, and I'm going to see everything that they tweet from now on. And so the only things that show up in your feed, and this is kind of an advantage a little bit over Facebook that Twitter has is that the only thing that's going to show up in your feed are the things that you've subscribed to, with the exception of the Twitter ads. And those are going to be highlighted because they're usually going to be at the top because they put them somewhere where you're going to see them, and they're going to say promoted. So we know that this is a promoted tweet. I don't follow Twitter data, which is the tweet that this came from, but it's being paid by someone, I'm assuming probably Twitter data, to be put into my stream. So that's how Twitter makes their money, is putting that kind of stuff in there. Now they try to make it things that are relative to you. So they're going to look at what you're following in your feed, and they're going to put things that are applicable to what you do. So I tweet out, obviously, the articles that we have on our website. I tweet a lot of stuff about social media and that kind of thing. So they've assumed that I may want to know how well my tweets are doing. That's a decent guess. So that's just an example of how they target you with ads and stuff of that nature. So when you actually tweet something, so I'm going to hit tweet. Now, there's a couple of things that you want to take note of when you do this. Now, one is, again, all tweets are going to be public. So if you don't want them to be public, you have to change that in your settings. But I am testing out Twitter. The other thing that you want to take note of as far as safety and security goes is this location thing. So I've disabled location in my settings as well. One of the features that Twitter offers is they can actually broadcast the location of where you make your tweets. Now, it's fun because, you know, it adds something to your post. You know, you might want to brag, you know, say, hey, I'm here, you know, I'm on vacation, I'm on the beach, I'm at Disney World. And people can see that. It kind of adds that different level of experience where they can say, oh, it's not just this person sharing, it's this person sharing from this place, without you actually having to say, you know, I'm here. And you get to save some characters. Now, the disadvantage of that, and why a lot of times we'll recommend that you disable that, is because it broadcasts your location. And obviously there can be some issues if people always know where you're at. There have been cases in the past where criminals have used Facebook and Twitter data like location information to take a look. You know, if they've been targeting someone for a robbery or something like that, there is a chance that they could look at that data and they could say, oh, that person's not at their house. I know that because they just tweeted from this location 5 minutes ago. Now would be a good time to go break in. Now, obviously, someone would have to know where you live. They'd have to know you. They'd have to know your Twitter handle. It's probably going to be someone that you interact with on a daily basis. So it's a very, very slim chance, but it has happened in the past. There's some news articles that you can Google search and find about that. So we want to put out there that it can be a concern. I don't do it on any of my accounts. We don't do it on any of our accounts for lots of reasons. But that's one of them. Location is one of those things that sometimes can be a little bit more sensitive and maybe you don't want to have on there. Now, how you can disable that, if you're wanting to do that, is by actually going up here. And this is going to click on your profile and your settings. And so you can run through all of your settings on here. And there are a ton of options. There's no way we could cover all of them. If you'd like to get in deeper on all of the settings and the things you can do with Twitter, especially like how you can push Twitter to Facebook and not have to I don't, on my personal account, I don't ever go to Facebook because I'm not a huge fan of it for personal things. So I have my tweets pushed to my Facebook page for me. That way I can still post updates for family and people that do like for me to do that because they like to know what's going on in my life, but it prevents me from having to actually go to Facebook, which I really enjoy because I don't have to go to Facebook. So there's a lot of really neat things you can do between Twitter and other social networking things that you may want to do. If you want to see that, please list it in the comments below, or post it on the comment of the blog article if you're watching the article on our site and not directly on YouTube, or like and subscribe. That's a great way to the video. But yeah, let us know and we can do another video where we dive into those things. But we won't be able to do that today. However, we will look at a couple of things. So content, make sure to look through here. There's things you can do on here like disabling video tweets so that videos don't play automatically. I've never had an issue with that, but depending on who you follow, you may not always want videos to pop up. Or if you're accessing it on your phone a lot, you may want to be sensitive to mobile data. You may not follow anyone that posts videos on Twitter, so it may not ever be an issue. But definitely something to be aware of. So the privacy section is the only other section we're going to cover right now. So photo tagging is the thing. You may not want people to be able to tag you in photos. Protecting your tweets means that the only people that are going to receive your tweets are people that you're following or people that are following you, depending on how you have it set up. Here's where you turn off the location. If you uncheck that box, it's going to disable the location so that it's not broadcast on your tweets. I do recommend turning that off, but you don't have to, obviously. And then there's some other things in here as well. You can choose whether or not they tailor ads. You can get just generic ads. If I'm going to get ads, I'd rather get ones that may actually be interesting to me. But you obviously don't have to do that, and then they won't be looking as hard at your data. They're still obviously collecting all of it in the end anyway, so it's not a huge deal. But and then there's some other things in there as well. Direct messages. I don't receive direct messages from anyone, so that is a feature in Twitter where you can send someone that you follow a direct message, or they can send you a direct message, and that's not visible to anyone. Even if you do private tweets, it's not even visible to your followers or their followers. It's only visible to you and that person. So that's kind of a way of point-to-point contact on Twitter. But keep in mind, though, Twitter still has all of that information. So it doesn't mean it's a free-for-all for data. Don't send sensitive things via that format, because Twitter is still going to have that, unless it's a stuff you don't have an issue with Twitter having. So these are just some of the options that you can access and go through in there. And again, if you want to see more on that, more in-depth stuff, then let us know, and we can run through the minutia of Twitter settings. So we've covered some tips and tricks already. So how to do, if you want to direct message someone, by the way, so you can see who your followers are, or you can see who you're following, rather. I'll do that. So you can see who you're following by clicking on the following thing, and that has people. If you want to look at someone specifically, you just click on that name, and it goes to their page. So there's an autoplay of a video, just to give an example of what could happen if you have video autoplay turned on. So you can go through here. You can tweet directly at that person by clicking tweet to that person, and it automatically puts their name in. This is how you tag people in tweets, and it pops up to them automatically and kind of gets their attention and says, "Hey, I'm tweeting about you." So they are aware of that. So they see that. They may retweet it and let someone else know. So that's kind of Twitter in a nutshell. It's very basic, very, very basic rundown of what it is. Again, if you want to see more, let us know. We can cover more in-depth stuff on that. But Twitter's great way to get information quickly on the go. It runs on almost everything. So if you've got a smartphone, you've got a computer, chances are you can use it. And hopefully you can enjoy it, have fun, and stay safe while doing it. Thanks for joining us. This has been Ryan with Safe Easy Tech, and hope you have a great day.